Right. So about the production possibility curve, there's an outward shift, which means that more can be produced uh, because you have more resources, more land, more labor, more capital. And shifting out is a long run concept. In your essays, you always have to mention that, or and you can even suggest that it increases the productive capacity in the country, and it causes a positive economic growth to occur because the more you're able to make, the more output you can make. So there are certain reasons for it. Your land, labor, capital, enterprise basically increasing somehow. So you should be able to assess them. You should be able to talk to them, talk about it, because in the essays, they for a five marker they can ask you, "Okay, अच्छा ये बताएं that if there is increased resources, how will PPC curve show that? If there is a depletion of resources, how is PPC going to show that? Or if there is an improvement in technology, then what's going to happen?" Sometimes the curve can even shift in a very different way, like this. If you see this orange shift that I've made, what this is showing is it's called a pivot shift. That means it doesn't change from one end and it changes on the other end. And what that means is that whatever resources or productivity or technology that has not increased in the consumer good industry. It has only have an impact on the capital good industry. So this is the reason why you might have a pivot shift. On the other hand, it's quite possible also that if they say that, you know what, the technology is only going to help the consumer good industry and not the capital good industry, then our shift would be different. From capital goods, it's not going to change, but from consumer good, we would see a pivot shift up like that. All right. So that's what it's about. Similarly, then we speak about the inward shifts. We say the capacity has decreased, there's a negative economic growth that has happened, and mostly the reasons are depletion, immigration, more people are going out than coming in, you have certain ban on certain technologies, resources are getting depleted, capital is depreciated, used up, you haven't done any new investments, and so overall the country's capacity is decreasing. It could be because of a natural disaster taking place, like an earthquake, you know. So there could be many reasons. The main thing is that with the given resources, you can produce less. So usually part A, B, C in your essay is easy to solve. Part D is a discuss question in which you want to use the opportunity concept to explain how a certain decision have certain implications. So remember one thing, we have three economic agents, and they are individual, yani consumers who have limited income, and they have to decide, okay, whether should we go for this or should we go for that. So you have to have a discussion on the advantages of one thing over the disadvantages of the other thing. Like for example, if this individual right here is deciding whether to go for a holiday or get yourself a car, and if she chooses holiday, you have to discuss that what are the advantages she's going to get from a holiday, and you have to discuss what she's giving up also because of that. So, for example, if she's going on a holiday, it would be refreshing. She will have like a good start on the new coming year. You know, she would be able to explore. She would see the cultures. She will become more educated about the world and more knowledgeable. She's going to have more experience, and maybe that might be able to help her with her job or career opportunity somehow. These are all the positive things that you should be able to come up with. But on the other hand, she's giving up a car, and then obviously there are a lot of advantages that she could have Got it. Like holidays, like a one-time spending, and then she's not gonna, you know, be able to utilize it later on. For a car, she can drive it for years and years ahead, you know, and she could go to job using it. She can commute, she can go travel distances, and she can take even like a Naukri, which is a job which is far away. She can actually commute in her own car and she can go there. It could be about status, and she owns her own car and stuff like that. So you should be able to make up and explore more for an 8 marker. ठीक है. Similarly with the government, it can be. So questions can come in a variety of ways. Like for example, if you have to discuss if the government decides to make a new road, so now you have to discuss what's the advantages or the disadvantages of it. Or it could be about that a person, if there are people leaving the country, then what are the advantages and the disadvantages of a situation like that. All right, so we're going to see about that in a bit.